July 12, 2024. On the remote, windswept shores of Sable Island, known as the Graveyard of the Atlantic, a grim discovery was made that shocked the sailing community and the world. This isolated sandbar, infamous for claiming hundreds of ships over centuries, had once again revealed a tragic secret. The lifeboat carrying 2 lost sailors washed ashore, marking the end of a daring journey filled with love, dreams, and mystery. Who were these adventurers, and what led them to the edge of the world? In May 2015, Brett Clibbery, a retired engineer from Canada, was visiting the UK when he became confused by the sight of hundreds of people waving flags near Trafalgar Square. Standing at the number 87 bus stop, he turned to a nearby stranger to ask what was going on. That stranger was Sarah Packwood, who had been working in central London for the Department of International Development on the Nepal earthquake response. Sarah explained that the crowd was celebrating the birth of Princess Charlotte. That simple question sparked a conversation between Brett and Sarah, and they ended up sitting next to each other on the bus ride towards Battersea, where Sarah lived and Brett was staying. Sarah found Brett strikingly handsome, reminiscent of Robert Redford, and very engaging. They spoke about a shared passion for travel before Brett explained the reason for his visit to London. He was there to donate a kidney to his sister, Glory, who lived in the UK and had been attending tests at Guy's Hospital every day. At the end of the bus ride, Sarah gave Brett her business card, and he emailed her almost immediately. In addition to her work in aid, Sarah also practiced healing and offered to perform some Reiki for him. Brett asked if they can meet for tea. Over the following weeks, Brett and Sarah met daily, going for walks along the South Bank or having lunch in a nearby park. Brett found Sarah incredibly easy to talk to. By the end of May, Sarah had moved to the Midlands to care for her terminally ill mother. Brett visited and stayed with her during the final week before her mother's passing, even helping to arrange the funeral. In August, Sarah returned to London and supported Brett through his kidney transplant. After the surgery, Brett went directly to the hospital to Sarah's home, where she took care of him. During their early meetings, Brett had mentioned his boat, Theros, and his lifelong love of sailing. Sailing had always intrigued Sarah, though she had never found the time for it. After recovering from the transplant, Brett returned to Canada, but he and Sarah continued to keep in touch via emails and phone calls. In spring 2016, Brett invited Sarah to visit Salt Spring Island, near Vancouver, where his boat was docked. He introduced her to sailing, taking her on her very first yacht trip, which she thoroughly enjoyed. It was in the main cabin of Theros that Brett proposed. That summer, the two were married on board Theros and began dividing their time between the UK and Canada. In April 2017, they held a traditional Celtic handfasting ceremony at Stonehenge. Their hands were symbolically tied together while they drank mead and jumped over a broom, representing a leap into married life. Afterward, Brett and Sarah returned to Canada and spent several months working on the boat. Then, they set off on an extended sailing journey around North America. Their route took them from Salt Spring Island down the west coast of Canada and the United States, across the Panama Canal, through the Caribbean, and eventually all the way to Nova Scotia. Following their return in the summer of 2018, Brett and Sarah purchased land on Salt Spring Island. In June 2019, they attempted a transatlantic sailing trip, which had to be cut short due to severe storms. Instead, the couple chose to focus on building their dream home on the land they had acquired, an eco-house designed with sustainability in mind. Sarah continues to work as a freelance humanitarian aid professional, though she no longer travels to high-risk regions. The couple enjoys spending time walking, traveling, and making music together. Brett has always admired Sarah's resilience and determination, even enduring months of seasickness during their voyages. Sarah, in turn, cherishes Brett's unwavering kindness and emotional strength. His support helped her through the grief of losing her mother, and his constant encouragement inspires her to grow. To Sarah, Brett is a soulmate with a heart of gold. Brett and Sarah shared their journey through their YouTube channel, Theros Adventures. Their videos chronicled building their home, sailing, kayaking, hiking, and road tripping in their sleek electric vehicle. The channel started as a way to document their escapades, but quickly became a window into their deep love and enthusiasm for life. In 2024, Brett and Sarah embarked on their most ambitious plan yet, the Green Odyssey. This innovative journey combined a cross-Canada road trip in their electric vehicle with a transatlantic sail on Theros, which had been converted from diesel to electric power powered by solar panels. Their goal was to sail from Halifax to the Azores, then on to Portugal, finishing with a hike on the Camino Trail, a journey of over 3,000 miles. In May 2024, they began the road trip leg, traveling from Salt Spring Island to Halifax. Their friends, Tim O'Connor and John Dolman, shared a bittersweet farewell coffee with them, recalling their excitement for the Camino and love of meeting new people. Throughout the trip, Brett and Sarah posted updates on their YouTube and Facebook pages, sharing stunning views and joyful moments. Their followers cheered them on as they neared Halifax. The couple's departure was filled with hope and excitement. They documented the moment with photos and videos, sharing their fair weather departure and calm seas with friends and followers on their YouTube channel and social media. The vast Atlantic stretched before them, a seemingly endless expanse of blue, promising new horizons and unforgettable experiences. But as days passed, communication from Brett and Sarah ceased. Their social media pages, once vibrant with updates and joyful moments, fell silent. Messages went unanswered, and attempts to reach them by phone and satellite failed. Concern grew among their close friends Tim O'Connor and John Dolman, who had accompanied them on the road trip portion of their journey and eagerly awaited news of their Atlantic crossing. By June 18th, Brett and Sarah were officially reported missing. The vastness of the ocean and the unpredictability of the weather made their disappearance deeply worrying. A large-scale search operation was launched on July 2, 2024, involving Canadian authorities and maritime rescue teams. Despite the efforts, no sign of Theros was found in the initial days. The Atlantic's immense size and challenging conditions complicated the search. Then, on July 12, 2024, a grim discovery was made on Sable Island, a remote, crescent-shaped sandbar located approximately 175 kilometers, about 109 miles, off the coast of Nova Scotia. Known historically as the Graveyard of the Atlantic, Sable Island has long been infamous for its treacherous waters, shifting sandbanks, thick fog, and powerful currents that have claimed over 350 shipwrecks since the 16th century. The island's dangerous reputation stems from its position along a major transatlantic shipping route and its proximity to rich fishing grounds. Before modern navigation, storms, fog, and the island's extensive sandbars made it a deadly hazard for mariners. To reduce the loss of life-saving stations and shelters were established on the island in the 19th century, staffed by men and their families who patrolled the beaches on horseback, searching for stranded sailors. Despite these efforts, the island's remoteness meant rescue was often delayed by hours or even days. On this fateful day in 2024, Parks Canada staff found a 3-meter inflatable lifeboat washed ashore on Sable Island's southern shore. Inside were 2 bodies, later identified as Brett Clibbery and Sarah Packwood. The discovery sent shockwaves through their community and the wider sailing world. While Theros itself remained missing, the lifeboat and the bodies were a tragic confirmation of the worst fears. The exact circumstances that forced Brett and Sarah to abandon Theros remain unclear. One prevailing theory suggests a collision with a large cargo ship shortly after departing Halifax, though the crew of the investigated vessel reported no damage or awareness of any incident. Another possibility is that the extensive modifications made to Theros, including heavy batteries and solar panels for its electric engine, may have compromised the boat's stability in rough seas. Whatever the cause, it is believed Brett and Sarah endured a desperate struggle for survival on the lifeboat, likely enduring days or even weeks adrift in the Atlantic's cold, unforgiving waters. Their deaths shocked their community and the sailing world. At TJ Bean's, their coffee shop in British Columbia, customers shared memories. Brett had a lifelong connection to the sea, working as a diesel mechanic for BC Ferries. Brett's son James posted a heartfelt tribute. Quote, "The past few days have been very hard. My father, Brett Clibbery, and his wife, Sarah Packwood, have regrettably passed away. They were amazing people, and there isn't anything that will fill the hole left by their unexpected passing. I miss your smiles and voices. You will be forever missed."